work. As we said, we are going to use these two photos, and I got them from the Pixabay and Pixels. Also, I got the fish from the Unsplash. Just write unsplash.com, and then in the search I write fish, and I choose this one, the first one. Now let's go ahead and work with our photo. I'm going to the Photoshop, create a new document, and we are going to use these settings. These settings are for the portrait mode in the Instagram. Make the resolution 200, and something like this will be good. Now we'll bring this photo. This will be the background photo. I will scale it just to fit the frame. Okay. Now let's bring the fish. For the fish, I will open it with the Photoshop. Right click and open it with the Photoshop. Now we need to remove the background. It's a black background. It's very easy to remove it. You can even use the blending mode to remove it, but for now I'll use the object selection tool. Just like this, we have selected our fish, then click on the mask to mask it. Now we need to go to the select and mask, double click on it. We need to refine the edges. I will use the edge refine tool, make the size bigger, and just paint over it like this to remove the black areas. We'll do it for this side as well. I removed a bit of the eye, but no worries, we'll keep it like that. And here we go. Press OK. Now copy this one, go to the move tool, copy it, and then paste it here. Command C and Command V. And then press Shift and scale it down. We are pressing Shift because we don't want to distort it. Depending on the version of the Photoshop you are using, you may need to press Shift or not. You just have to try it. I will fit my fish over here. Make sure that you fit it in the best way. Rotate it, scale it down, and move it. Just like this. Now we want the fish to be behind this tree. For that, I will duplicate the background, Command J, and move it above the fish. Then I'll use Object Selection tool and select this tree like this. Then we will mask it, and then we will go to the mask, double click on it, then you'll refine the edges, just like this, and press OK. Now our fish is behind the tree. It is this easy. The next thing I want to work on is the shadow and the light for the fish. For that, I will create a new empty layer and I will name it Shadow. And then we will clip mask it to the fish. Press on the Option or Alt and click on it. Now change the blending mode to the multiply. Now I will get the color from this area, this one, and then press B for the brush. Now we can paint over it to make this side darker. Why we do that? Because it is simply against the light, so it should have the shadow. Next thing, we'll work on the lights. I will create a new empty layer and I will clip mask it to the shadow and also to the fish. I will name it Light. Now I will press I to get the bright color from the fish, which is this area, and then we'll change the blending mode to the color dodge Then go to the brush and paint on this area. So just like this, we are adding light to this area of the fish. Okay, I'm going to bring down the opacity for the brush. First, I'll make it bigger, bring down the opacity to 5, and just paint over this area a bit. We are trying to mix the shadow and the light together. Okay, now the next thing, we will make the shadow on the ground. I'll create a new empty layer. Go to the move tool. Then we will create a new empty layer for the ground. Make sure you put this one over the ground or over the background photo. We will name it shadow. We don't need to clip mask this because the photo is already taking over the whole frame. Now I'll press I to get the color from this area, and then press B for the brush. Bring down the size of the brush, change the blending mode to the multiply, and now we can go ahead and paint on this area. I'll just try to make the shadow. Let's paint a bit more on this area. Make it closer, and you want the shadow in this area to be harsher. But as you can see in the horizon, I don't know what you call it, but we have a lot of shadow. I will make a mask on this layer and then use the black color to remove some of it. Just like this. Now the next thing we need to do is to replicate the haze that we have in the background on the fish. For that, I will create a new empty layer and make sure it is over the fish. Then we are going to use this color, then brush tool, make it bigger, and then paint over it like this. This time I didn't clip mask it to the fish because I want to paint over everywhere, not only the fish. Just like this, we replicated the haze on the fish. Let's name it haze, and then I will add a mask to it. I'll use the black color with the brush to remove some of the areas that I don't want the haze to be, like this area. Okay, just like this we created our poster. Hope you enjoyed and learned something new. I can't wait to see your versions of this design. Please don't forget to share it with me. I'll see you in the next lesson. Bye bye.